The desert sky of the alien world burned red as two suns dipped low behind jagged mountains. Logan stood near his old cargo ship, wiping sweat from his forehead. He had just finished a trade with a local alien merchant for some broken tech parts. Nothing special. But as Logan turned to leave, the merchant stopped him. "Wait, human. I don't have enough credits," the alien said, lowering his head. "But I can offer you this." Logan turned, confused. Then he saw her, a girl, chained at the ankles and wrists, thin, dirty. Her skin was a soft pale violet, bruised in places. Her white hair was messy and covered in sand. She didn't look up. "She's useless to me," the merchant said quickly. "Too proud to obey. Won't talk, just sits there. But maybe you can make her work." Logan frowned. He didn't believe in slavery. But out here on the outer rings, law was weak, and people were cheaper than parts. The girl still didn't move. Not even a sound. "What's her name?" Logan asked. "No name," the alien shrugged. "She was captured during the Alari War. Worthless now. Just take her." Logan sighed. He could walk away. He should walk away. But something about the girl, the way she sat, like she wasn't scared, just waiting. "Fine," Logan said. "Unlock her." The merchant smiled, tossed him the key, and walked off with the parts. Logan unlocked her chains. Still, she didn't move. "Can you walk?" he asked. Slowly she stood up. Her legs shook, but she didn't fall. She looked at him for the first time. Her eyes were deep silver, cold, calm, and royal. Logan blinked. No slave looked at someone like that. They walked in silence to his ship. As he opened the ramp, he said, "Name?" She didn't answer. Inside, Logan gave her a blanket and some food. She stared at it. Then, with slow, careful movements, she picked up the cup of water and drank it with both hands like she was used to fine cups, not metal cans. Logan sat across from her, curious now. "You're not what you seem." She looked at him again. Her voice came low, clear and proud. "If you hurt me, you'll answer to the throne." Logan froze. "What throne?" She didn't reply. Just closed her eyes and leaned back against the wall. Was she mad? Pretending to be someone important? Logan shook his head and went to the cockpit. He had better things to worry about. But something about her voice stayed in his mind. That night, Logan sat at the console, checking the local alert system. Suddenly, a message flashed on screen. "Wanted missing. Princess Lyra of Alari. High reward for capture. Do not harm. May be in disguise. Dangerous traitors seek her." Logan's eyes widened. He zoomed in on the photo. Same silver eyes, same white hair, same proud face. His heart raced. Was she? He ran back to the sleeping quarters and stared at the girl. She was asleep now, her face calm, lips slightly parted. She looked peaceful. But even in sleep, her posture was straight. Not like a broken slave, like someone born in command. Logan sat down, staring at her. What had he accepted? If she really was the princess, then people would come looking. Powerful people. Dangerous people. And he, a simple salvage pilot, was now caught in something far bigger than he understood. She stirred, opened her eyes, looked at him again. "Do you believe me now?" she whispered. Logan didn't answer. He just nodded slowly. A loud beep beep shattered the silence. Logan's eyes flew open. He had fallen asleep at the control panel again. But the warning wasn't from his ship's systems. It was from an incoming scan. A bounty hunter vessel was nearby, and it was scanning for life forms. He jumped to the console and muted all signals. His fingers flew across the screen, locking down the ship's ID. He tapped into the scan results. Target, female. Alari DNA, possible match. Princess Lyra. His throat went dry. Behind him, soft footsteps. He turned. She was standing there silent, calm, watching. You need to hide, he said quickly. No, she replied. If they find me here, you'll be killed. Let me go. You don't have to die for me. Logan shook his head. Not happening. Without waiting, he opened a hidden storage hatch under the floor. Get in, now. For the first time, she hesitated. Then slowly she nodded and climbed down into the dark space. He sealed it just as the external com lit up. Unidentified ship prepare for boarding. Logan took a deep breath. Here we go. The hatch opened, and 2 armored bounty hunters stepped inside. Tall, cold-eyed, fully armed. One scanned the room, while the other aimed a weapon at Logan. We're looking for a missing Ilari female, the lead hunter said. Do I look like I run a hotel? Logan replied, trying to sound casual. I'm just a junk hauler. The hunter didn't smile. Permission to scan your ship. Logan shrugged. You already did. You got nothing. The bounty hunter moved closer. You're sweating. It's hot, Logan said, forcing a smile. You ever been to Raxa's desert? It's like standing in a dragon's mouth. The hunter stared at him for a long moment, then turned and walked away. Logan didn't move until the ship's door sealed shut again. Only then did he open the floor hatch. She climbed out, eyes glowing in the dim light. You lied for me, she said softly. I've made worse choices, Logan muttered. But his voice shook slightly. Why? She asked. Logan didn't answer right away. He stared at her, really looked this time. She was standing tall, even in his old flight jacket. She didn't look like a slave anymore. She looked like a storm, ready to break. Finally, he said, because you're not trash. And I don't leave good people behind. Her silver eyes softened. My name is Lyra. I was sold by traitors. My family is gone. A long silence fell between them. Then she added, but I'm not powerless. Suddenly, she touched the ship's main screen. Symbols appeared, royal codes, glowing in blue. Logan's jaw dropped. What is that? She looked at him. Access to vaults, weapons, secrets. The war isn't over, Logan, and I need help. You need a fleet, Logan said. She shook her head. I need one human with the courage to run. Just then, another alert blared, bounty signal increasing. More ships were coming. Lyra's eyes locked with his. So what will it be? Logan took the pilot's seat and fired the engines. Hold on, he said. This is gonna be a rough ride. The ship roared forward, into the stars, leaving the hunters behind in a trail of fire. The stars looked peaceful from the outside, but inside Logan's ship, every blink on the radar felt like a threat. He hadn't slept in 36 hours. He sat in the pilot chair, eyes heavy, hands tight on the controls. Lyra stood beside him, calm but alert, scanning every signal. They had escaped the first group of bounty hunters, but more would come. Lyra's face was now everywhere in the galaxy. Every space pirate, hunter, and warlord wanted the reward, and Logan had her on his ship. He finally spoke, voice rough. We can't keep running like this. I know, Lyra said softly. That's why I have to tell you the truth. Logan turned toward her. What truth? She walked to the center of the ship and placed her palm on the floor. A small panel opened, revealing a glowing cube. What is that? He asked. Proof, she said. Of everything. With a blink, the cube projected images into the air. Logan watched in shock footage of a royal ceremony, with Lyra standing next to her parents, Ilari king and queen. Then came images of explosions, betrayal, soldiers storming the palace. Lyra's voice trembled. My uncle wanted the throne. He killed my family and sold me as a slave. But he didn't find this. The cube showed a vault map, hidden somewhere in deep space. Logan frowned. What's in the vault? Peace, Lyra whispered. It holds proof of the betrayal and the treaty my parents made with the human colonies. If I reach it, I can stop the war. But if they find me first. She didn't finish. Logan stood silent. His life used to be simple junk, fuel, survival. Now he was carrying the last royal of a fallen empire. And the key to a galaxy-changing secret. He rubbed his face. You know how many people would kill me just for talking to you? Lyra stepped closer. Then don't talk. Fly. Logan almost smiled, but then alert. The ship's lights turned red. Incoming vessels, 3 bounty ships closing in fast. Lyra leaned over the control panel. They're locking on. If we fight, we die. Logan's eyes darted across the nav screen. No jump gates nearby. No allies. Just cold stars. But then one option. A hidden wormhole. Unstable, old, dangerous, he pointed. We fly through that. Lyra's voice dropped. That wormhole hasn't been used in years. We might not survive. Logan looked at her, eyes fierce. If we stay here, we definitely won't. Without another word, he grabbed the controls and gunned the engines. The ship turned sharply toward the glowing blue hole in space. Behind them, the bounty ships fired. Lasers shot past. Alarms screamed. The hull shook. Lyra gripped the seat beside him. You're insane, he laughed. You wanted a human with courage, remember? The wormhole opened like a mouth of lightning, and they flew straight in. Everything went white, then dark, then nothing. The ship floated in silence, no alarms, no flashing lights. Just quiet darkness. Like the universe was holding its breath. Logan opened his eyes. His head hurt. The jump through the unstable wormhole had nearly torn the ship apart. Wires sparked overhead. Smoke filled the cabin. Systems were half dead. Lyra? He coughed. No answer. He pushed himself up and limped through the narrow hallway. The engine room was flooded with steam. His ship groaned like a dying animal. But he didn't care about that right now. He found her in the back chamber. She was lying on the floor, blood on her forehead, her hands curled into fists. But she was breathing. Logan dropped to his knees. Hey, wake up. Her eyes opened slowly, unfocused at first. Then she saw him, and for the first time, she looked afraid. I thought we didn't make it, she whispered. Almost didn't, Logan said. But you're alive. That's all that matters. No, she said, her voice trembling. You matter too. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Logan helped her sit up. He gave her water, and they both sat against the wall in silence, listening to the creaks of the broken ship. After a while, Logan asked, How far can your secrets take us, Lyra? She didn't answer right away. Then she reached into her robe and pulled out a small silver chip, no bigger than a fingernail. This, she said, is not just a key. It's a map, a weapon, and a memory. Logan frowned. What kind of memory? Lyra stood slowly, then placed the chip into a port on the wall. A soft hum echoed, and a hologram lit up. It showed a vault deep underground, hidden beneath an old Ilari temple. Inside, a sealed chamber, guarded by old codes and weapons. But the real surprise came next. The image shifted, showing a message from her father, the late Ilari king. If you're seeing this, my daughter, you are the last of us. The truth must live through you. Do not trust the council. Do not return to the capital. Go to the vault. Inside is what the galaxy forgot: peace with the humans. We trusted them. You must too. The message ended. Logan stared at her, stunned. Your people made peace with humans? Lyra nodded. Before the war. Before the lies. My uncle erased the treaty to start a new war. He blamed your kind to gain more power. Logan felt sick. So, all this blood, all this fighting, it didn't have to happen. No, she said, but if I reach that vault, I can prove the truth, and maybe stop the war. Logan stood up and paced. I fix ships. I haul junk. I don't end wars, Lyra. She walked up to him, voice steady. You're more than that. You're the only one who didn't sell me, chain me, or turn me in. That makes you rare. That makes you strong." Logan looked away, her words cut deep. He didn't feel strong. He felt lost. But then, she said something he couldn't ignore. "I don't need a hero. I need a friend. Just help me reach the vault. After that, you're free." He looked into her silver eyes, no longer cold, no longer proud. Just honest. And for the first time, Logan saw not a princess, but a person, tired, brave, and completely alone. He nodded. "All right, we go to the vault, but after that, you owe me dinner." She blinked. "Is that a human joke?" Logan grinned. "No, that's a human promise." Outside the ship, a new light flickered on the screen. Unknown signal. Not a bounty ship this time, but something worse. A Royal Ilari war cruiser. Lyra stepped closer to the radar and whispered, "They found us." The whisper didn't come from Lyra's mouth. It came from the walls. At first, Logan thought he was imagining things, a soft clicking sound. Then voice, low, cold, and full of static. "Location confirmed. Target aboard. Prepare for capture." Logan froze. That wasn't a bounty transmission. It was coming from inside the ship. He turned to Lyra, eyes wide. "Someone's broadcasting from my systems." Lyra moved quickly to the console, fingers tapping across the screen. She found it a hidden beacon inside the ship's I-core. "It's been sending signals since we entered the wormhole," she said quietly. "They've been tracking us the whole time." Logan felt his stomach drop. "But I disabled the I days ago." "No," Lyra said, her voice growing sharp. "You thought you did, but something else. Someone else turned it back on." The ship's lights flickered. "Backup power just dropped," Logan muttered. "Something is overriding my systems." He ran to the engine room. The smell of burning wires hit him. Sparks flew as he opened the panel. And there, blinking red, was the source. A stealth tracker implanted behind the nav board. "This wasn't here when I bought the ship." Logan whispered. Lyra entered behind him, her eyes scanning the device. Then she paused. Slowly, she turned toward him. "Who installed your nav system?" Logan's heart skipped. "Rex, old tech guy on Xeno 4. Her face hardened. "Rex works for the Ilari Council. He's loyal to my uncle." That's when it hit Logan. This wasn't a coincidence. From the beginning, he was meant to find her. He backed up, jaw clenched. "So, someone set me up?" Lyra nodded slowly. "They never expected you to run. They thought you'd sell me back for credits." Logan almost laughed. "Well, I guess I ruined their plan." Suddenly the ship rocked hard. A blast hit the rear engine. Outside, the Royal war cruiser loomed larger on the screen, shields charged, weapons locked. Lyra looked at him. "We're out of time." Logan hit the emergency escape drive, a short jump, but it needed 5 minutes to charge. That was 5 minutes too long. Lyra opened the armory locker. "What are you doing?" Logan asked. "Fighting," she said. "You fly, I defend." Logan grabbed a blaster. "You're not doing it alone." She looked at him, serious, calm. "You don't have to do this." "I know," he said. "But I want to." They moved together, 2 different worlds. Now one team. As the enemy ship prepared to board, Logan cut all lights, forcing the ship into stealth mode. Lyra crouched near the entrance hatch, weapon ready. Her posture was perfect, not a girl. In chains now, but a royal warrior. When the enemy breach pod slammed into the hull, the lights turned red. 3 soldiers entered, tall, armed, faceless in masks. The first one spoke. "Surrender the princess, human, and walk away alive." Logan raised his gun. "She's not going anywhere." They fired. Blasts lit up the hall. Lyra moved fast, like lightning, dropping the first soldier with a stun shot to the neck. Logan fired back, covering her side. The second fell. The third ducked behind the door. Then silence. The enemy was down, but more would come. The emergency drive flashed green. "Jump ready!" Logan shouted. Lyra dashed back to the cockpit. Logan slammed the controls. As the ship jumped into hyperspace again. Both of them leaned back, breathing hard. Lyra smiled just a little. "You fight better than you talk," Logan smirked. "And you hit harder than you look." But the smile faded as Lyra pulled something from one of the fallen soldiers. Up, symbol. The mark of the royal elite. She stared at it. These weren't bounty hunters. They were my uncle's personal guard. Logan frowned. "He sent them himself?" She nodded. "He doesn't want me alive anymore. He wants me erased." They sat in silence, both understanding the truth now. This wasn't just a chase anymore. It was war, and there was no going back. The sky above the hidden Ilari base burned with fire. Ships fell like stars. Smoke curled through the clouds. The last safe place for Lyra's people was under attack, and she was still minutes away. Inside Logan's ship, everything shook. Sparks flew from the ceiling. Alarms blared. The jump had fried the shields. The engines were overheating, but neither of them stopped. 10 more seconds. Logan shouted, hands tight on the controls. Lyra stood beside him in full royal armor, silver plating, glowing Ilari crest, and a steady fire in her eyes. "They don't want a queen," she said. "They want a symbol. Let's give them one." The ship crashed through the atmosphere, flames licking the hull. Logan aimed straight for the battle zone. Soldiers on the ground stared as the human ship landed with a roar. The door opened, and Lyra stepped out. Tall and proud, the traitor general, her uncle's last commander, pointed at her, in shock. "Impossible. You were supposed to be dead." Lyra raised her voice, echoing through the canyon. "I was dead. You killed my name, my family, my home. But this man," she pointed at Logan, who now stood behind her, bruised and armed. "This human gave me something greater, a reason to rise again." The Ilari survivors stood stunned. Then she pulled the royal crest from her armor and snapped it in half. "I don't want your throne," she said, "if I must leave behind the one person who never left me." Gasps filled the air. Logan whispered, "You didn't have to do that." Lyra turned to him, eyes shining. "I did, because I'm not theirs anymore. I'm mine." The traitor general screamed, "Seize them both." But it was too late. Lyra raised her hand and activated the chip her father had hidden. A wave of blue light burst out, hitting the enemy soldiers. Their weapons shut down. Their armor failed. The vault's secret was out. The true treaty, the truth of the war, the royal command codes, all broadcasted to the galaxy. The lies died in that moment, and Lyra's voice rose. "The war ends now. The Ilari will rebuild not on hate, but on truth. And this human will stand by my side as the one who saved me when no one else would." The survivors dropped to one knee, not to a queen, but to a leader who had chosen love over power. Later, when the fire was gone and the stars were calm again, Logan stood with Lyra on the mountain ledge. "You could have had a crown," he said. "I still do," she smiled. "It just looks like grease stains and old flight jackets now." He chuckled. "So, what now?" She looked at the stars. "Now?" she said. "Now we build a home, not a palace, just something real." She turned to him, reached out her hand. "Come with me?" He took it. And together, they walked into the new dawn.